Good morning, everyone. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. We have an action-packed show for you. We're going to take it to the wild side. We're going to talk about GameStop and Roaring Kitty. I know that should get you excited because markets are moving. Let's talk about what's happening out there. Big short squeeze in GameStop, AMC. The meme stocks are back. We got a great special after work on premium content. Ryan Fogel is going to break it all down for us. He gave us a little education before we went on the show. We were going to have him call in, but we're going to save it for premium. It's that good. All right. PPI was out today. Hot number. Hot. CPI out tomorrow. At 7:30 tomorrow, you want to put on like Bloomberg, CNBC, some financial channel, and you want to be watching that come out. When CPI comes out, the options market, they have options at the CME group that expire that day. They have Wednesday options in the S&P. They're pricing in 1 full percent. What's that mean? A Dow Jones that's at 40,000. They think right when that number comes out, we could be up 400 in the Dow or down 400. That would be like 52 handles in the S&P. I have a whole list of headlines to read. Conab was out today. Export flashes to Mexico. Corn progress, 49% versus the 5-year at 54. June milk traded limit up yesterday. That was interesting. No indication that cooking oil is included in products. Soybean oil having a horrible day. I have so many headlines to read. I'm laughing. I'm looking through my bifocals. We got a little China headline. Yesterday, KC wheat came within 4 cents of trading limit up. Limit, folks, for those of you standing back, limits have been lowered. The CME adjust them as the market moves. And when the CME adjusted limits on wheat was a lot lower. Now wheat's went up. We only have a 40-cent limit in wheat, so it'd be nothing for wheat to trade limit down. Let's bring in the wheat king himself. He's wearing his best purple. He got the note. I'm wearing blue. He's wearing purple. He's looking good. We
Morning,
got a lot
Tommy
of
G.
stuff to talk about. No wonder why
That was a
Connor
long
said,
list. A
oh, yeah.
long list.
Connor's like, I can't do it. That's just, it's too much work to go through all that stuff.
God.
Connor's sitting back there. He's in the wings in case we need him.
Good deal.
Break it down for us. Let's just start it from the top. Hot PPI, CPI.
What does that mean what does that mean, Tommy? What's PPI?
Means interest rates aren't going down anytime soon.
Okay.
Not a chance in heck. Now, will interest rates go down? They could. Will the Fed do something to I mean, they think towards the election they could lower 1 or 2 times to help the economy. We'll see. CPI tomorrow. This is the month of May. We have them counting on my fingers. June, July, August, September, October. We're 5-6 months from the election. Oof. When the Fed does changes or makes changes, they just don't affect things that day. It takes 18 months for rate cuts and eases to really hit the markets. So they're kind of looking through the rear view mirror.
Mm-hmm.
CPI is a big deal tomorrow. There's people that say this election could be won or lost by how people feel in the economy. And if people feel broke, we may have a stock market that's doing well, and the president could say, I did that. Sure, you made 15-20% of the population extremely rich. The other 80% are struggling, and we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe people are going to vote how they vote, and that's fine. I'm all good. I like trading facts, not feelings, but we're going to have continued volatility coming in the election.
I believe
that means. Okay.
Yep.
GameStop, what'd you learn from Ryan Fogel real quick on that 12:15? He gave us like a 5-minute update.
That was a great. I didn't realize Ryan knew so much about these meme stocks, but the meme stocks are back, Tommy G.
We have a picture of that. Rick, let's show him what got it all started.
I can't wait to hear his premium content. I guess a tweet started on Sunday night. We got the phase, the meme stock phase. We got the beginning, the mid phase, the fear of missing out phase. Are we there? Possibly with the GameStop trade. If you looked at a chart, maybe we're at that FOMO phase, or the profit taking somewhere in there. But
that looks like corn going in the bag, not Bitcoin. And then you got the lost late phase. Look at the guy pulling his pocket out.
It's empty. Those pockets are
That's
empty.
like you when we go to dinner. You're like, whoa, boys, I forgot my wallet, my credit card. Sorry, fellas.
I don't know what happened here.
Oh, I could say something right now, but they'd never let me back on the show. All right. Maybe that's the goal.
I can't wait to hear what Ryan has to talk about, because I just didn't realize how big of an expert he was in some.
When I tell you he knows this, when I tell you we work with someone at Advanced Trading who's an expert on this, Ryan Fogel is an expert on Bitcoin and
Meme stocks. Yeah.
he told me about Sunday night. He's like, "Oh, Roy and Kitty leaned forward."
This is the tweet, right?
Dear Lord,
That
son,
started it
did
all.
you not go to your therapy session? What are you talking about? And this right here moved the markets billions of dollars, and we'll talk about that
Jeez.
on premium content. All right,
Mhm.
good stuff. Let's talk about Conab, kind of a nothing burger, but break it down for us.
Okay, yeah, I got some charts here. I'm gonna throw them up for us. This is so we got CONAB on the left and USDA adjustments on the right. We'll highlight the cells that matter here. So CONAB raised their corn production a little bit, came a little bit closer to the USDA, but still a big divergence there. 10 million, almost 10 million metric ton divergence or difference between the USDA and CONAB on corn production numbers. And look at that export figure there. 31 million metric tons for the CONAB projected exports for Brazil, and the USDA is using a 50 million metric ton number for Brazilian exports. So significant difference there, and major impact to U.S. What the U.S. corn export production could look like going forward. And these numbers, going to impact the later half of the year. Export forecast for the USDA, and the USDA just raised our U.S. exports a tick, which had some people scratching their heads a little bit. When we look down at the bean adjustments down there, similar, they came a little bit closer to the USDA, but still a difference there. They're under the USDA bean production number for Brazil, and big difference there on exports as well. So,
I
yeah,
wonder how long they could stay. What do you call it when they're not, aligned? The two.
yeah. Yep.
Not a question for you and I to answer. I guess we got to
I
go
don't
back.
know that they have to come together, but there will be
Okay.
maybe 2-3 years down the road that somebody's going to make an
I mean, it's
adjustment.
not a cash settled futures market that you're going to have convergence. It could just,
Be just
yeah,
different.
yeah. Crop progress. We have a slide of that.
We do. Let's jump back to that over
It's
here.
kind of a nothing burger.
Yeah, you did a special yesterday in the premium content, and maybe a little higher than expected. Planning progress is still behind the 5-year average on corn. I'd say, to me, it looks like it's far from a disaster quite yet. General picture. The wheat ratings too, staying par for the course. There's some areas of bad. Kansas, we got some areas that are struggling here, but you got some of the fringe wheat acres that are picking up the slack, and conditions holding together this time of year. That's a good thing for wheat production.
It's never a dull moment, right? Is it possible, and I said this to you yesterday, that Kansas City farmers could have a great year on Russia's demise?
Isn't that a perfect storm, Tommy? That's what we root for, right? I mean, you hate to root for somebody else to have a failed crop somewhere.
Oh, if it's going to be someone, it's okay for Russia. There ain't one Russian worried about you in Dodge City, Kansas. I could tell you.
That's a good
Probably the
point,
ones
Tom.
hacking your freaking internet. If I didn't know better, it's why you can't get no Wi-Fi. It's the Russians dialing into B Huck's house watching ATI Pro Media. Very
Yeah,
possible, or the Chinese. Those two could they could be into your internet.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But a perfect storm for if you're going to raise the bushels and have the bushels, to have some production dominoes elsewhere fall and raise prices for you. That's a good thing for the U.S. wheat farmer.
Man,
Absolutely.
this is probably the most headlines we ever had. Let's keep breaking it down.
Okay.
Exports to Mexico.
Yeah, had a good flash sale. Flash sale for corn. It's flash sale season. We need to see these flash sales. But had export sale to Mexico. Most of that, though, Tommy, when they break it down on crop year, was new crop corn going to Mexico. So a big chunk of that was new crop corn going to Mexico, not old crop. We need to see maybe a little more old crop going to Mexico. But nonetheless, good to see the export headline come up this morning. Got to see those.
Whatever happened with we weren't friends because our corn's not GMO? Looks like they're hungry, huh?
I think maybe they're kicking that to the side here. Looks like it to me this morning at least.
We'll take it. All right.
Mhm.
Corn planting, we went over that. June milk traded limit up yesterday. Folks, we'll break down a milk chart here. I have one. It's the at first on those headlines on bird flu, milk originally traded down, and then when you start to think about it, wait, a bunch of cows have bird flu. They're not producing a bunch of dairy cows. They're not producing milk, but nothing bad happens to them except for they stop eating, quit producing milk, and it maybe takes. I don't want to speak. I think Tyne Morgan told me 30, 40 days get them back going and stuff.
Mhm.
But nonetheless, the milk market having a huge,
Meme
huge move.
stock moment for the milk market.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Milk,
Parabolic.
milk, and GameStop are trading on the same platform. Speaking on trading on the platforms, Ryan said that, and you guys said too, that these stocks are getting halted. That they're
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, halted by we've seen the Robin Hood type deal where Robin Hood shuts down trading. I think this one's just a specific stock getting halted because of volatility. And when you have those types of moves, I don't know if it's a liquidity issue or what it is, but God, that doesn't seem right to halt it. But I guess they have their reasons, Tommy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna Google something. Keep talking. Go through the next headline. I want to see something real quick.
What is the next headline? Oh, we
Rick will
got
pop
the
it up.
cooking oil. No indication that used cooking oil is included in the products to see the increased tariff levels. So that bean oil market popped up yesterday. I think we're going to dig into some charts here in a little bit when Tommy gets back. But we'll look at that bean oil chart. Had a significant rally there, but it's backed off as it's that cooking oil market popping a drop. I guess not included in the tariff levels.
Mhm.
So
There's an interesting series on Netflix called "Eat the Rich: The GameStop Saga," and there's this from 2022, and there was something recently too that came on GameStop. But I like watching this stuff. It's there's something called Bitcoin and that Bitcoin. There's
okay.
of course, if you're going to watch this stuff, you got to watch the Madoff special, The Monster of Wall Street, because this guy invented being a bad dude. So, how much of the stuff's real, not real? I don't know. I don't know. Futures and options have risk. Let's hope that disclaimer's running at the bottom. Futures and options have risk. Stocks have risk, and we're a little bit more regulated. There's a lot of pump and dump blog sites talking about how to buy junk and turn it into something. So what happened? I mean, this is equivalent, folks, to corn being at 470 yesterday, and it's $9 bid today. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't fathom that. Am I doing the math right?
I
I
think
mean,
so. Yeah. Yeah.
100% double it, right? It was $25 stock yesterday. It's 50. They're not going to CME is not going to let that happen. I did
I
see
think
that almost happen in wheat once, and back in
yeah.
2008
I
when
think
Minneapolis
overnight
wheat
GameStop traded 60 some dollars and it's back to 45, $50. Just significant move in a day session even here today, overnight session. Wow.
just fascinating, fascinating. Hey, while we were live, little breaking news. Ben Peters posted a map, and I think Connor loaded that up. He can pop it up. But Ben Peters, one of our commercial brokers with a real strong feel to what's going on over there. But his point was this 24-hour precip south of I-80 looking good again for Minnesota, uh, Dakotas, Wisconsin, Ohio, and Indiana for another few days. There's some squishy people out there. Iowa just getting pounded constantly. Interesting. They wanted rain. Someone prayed for rain, but they're going to have to stop now. Interesting spring. Never not an interesting spring. All right, we can pop that off. Pop us back in. Look at that. Bam. Look at that. Bam. Like a
I
cooking show.
I'd love to be able to share in some of that moisture here, and I'm excited they're getting wet east of us here, Tommy, because we need that. We need that humidity, push that dry line a little bit, and bring some of that moisture this way. When you look at the forecast here, there's an area in southwest Kansas, the Texas Panhandle that could sure use another drink. And even just western Kansas in a whole. Nebraska, though, western Nebraska. When I look at the precip map there, Tommy, looks they've been getting some really favorable rains there in
Hmm.
a country an area that needs it.
I'll call Kale Carlson and see if we can't pop him on for tomorrow's premium.
Mm.
We might start doing a couple premiums a day here with everything going on. But Ryan, I'm real excited about Ryan's episode because we know we have depth on the bench at Advanced
Mhm.
Trading, and I don't think most of our coworkers realize how much Ryan knows about Bitcoin and GameStop and everything else. I said, Ryan, you're on speaker. Talk to us before we go live, and he's like talking and. Brady's like, we should talk about that. I'm like, sure, on premium. Let's talk about premium real quick, Rick. What is premium? Well, that was me yesterday. Kind of a nothing burger, but I still had to do it. On Mondays, we talked crop progress, talked about wheat. That was not a nothing burger. Significant moves in all three wheat yesterday, giving it back today, giving it back about a third that move, maybe a fourth. And then milk, limit up. We talked about that on premium content. Folks, on premium content, I don't know if we loaded up our new slide yet, Rick, but we have a new slide on what premium content is. And we send you out an email around 5:30, 6 in the morning. come out with 6 videos a week, sometimes more. On Saturdays, we send you another piece of educational information, and then we send text on actionable alerts. We've definitely, yesterday's text on actionable alerts was check out the wheat market. We're almost limit up. Brady, guys are busy in the field. I can't tell you how many farmers I talked to who said, thanks for calling. I had no idea. And actually, one of our new subscribers to ATI ProMedia Premium said, thanks for the text. I'm going to do something actionable here, and I'll call you back. And it was fun. It was really nice to see the
A lot of
how
irons.
information flows.
Yeah, a lot of irons in the fire for you guys if you're out in the field farming, and it's hard to keep your thumb on the markets and what you got to do to get the crop in the ground and the herbicide taken care of and the fertilizing, all the stuff. The wheels are moving and they're turning, and your markets are moving too, and creating some opportunities that you got to stay on top of here. They can
Yeah,
be very
absolutely.
fleeting.
All right, let's dive into the charts real quick. Rick, if you
Yeah.
want to pull those up, we have bean oil. Folks were super excited in bean oil. PJ Quade's going to talk about some big options that happened. Looking at PJ's email options, PJ from the options, there was a lot of action in options overnight. He sends us a nice little email breaking all
Mhm.
that down. That was interesting. All right, this is bean oil. It's trending down. This is a daily chart.
Okay.
The green being 100. I'm going to switch today my red. I'm going to switch this permanently to my red being a 200-day moving average because so many of the commodity markets are above the 20. We're trading up in commodities,
Yep.
but where we're starting to see resistance is now this 100 and 200 day.
Mhm.
So let me save that on my workspace here.
I
So
like red
tomorrow,
at 200. That's a good color
you like
combination.
that? Well, if you
Yeah.
like it, then we're doing it. I mean, it's about you today, Brady. This episode is dedicated to Brady Huck. Look at Rick laughing. Wonder where Joe is. I wonder if brother Joe, if he's in London today,
Is
my
he
brother.
tuning in?
I wonder if he's watching ATI Pro Media
Drop us a
in
comment, Joe. Let
yeah,
us know
drop
you're
us a
watching.
comment. All right. Bean oil, folks, for you home gamers, not game stoppers, bean oil gamers. No bueno here from where it used to
Weekly
be to
downtrend.
where it is. So,
Wow.
whatever rumors there was and all that big price action, let's look at an hourly and just show you how fast commodity markets can move. Rick, pull up that disclaimer: futures and options have risk, because here someone bought it. They thought that the Duke boys knew something, and then here's the Duke boys getting out, right? So, futures and options have risk. This is bean oil on an hourly.
Hmm.
Um, not,
Significant moves there
yeah,
in
we're
short
down.
period of time.
I call it 181. How do you call it? 18 or 181?
I don't even know what
In
you're talking about. Tell
on
me.
the soybean oil, minus 182 right now.
Mm.
20 250, I think's limit down. It'd be
Oh,
possible.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm not a bean guy. I'm too far west. We're not in bean country.
Yeah, and
So,
you also deal with beans, but just the whole bean. Like, I
yeah.
remember being on a radio show and Chip Flory asking me, "What do you think about the oil share versus the meal share?" I'm like, "I sell the bean, not the meal, not the oil, not the share, the bean. That's all I have to do is protect the price and the value of the bean, not the
Mhm.
goods." Doesn't mean that myself or Tony Dunker don't advise people in cattle and hogs or anything else to buy meal or buy meal calls. I have
Yeah.
a friend who's a large hog farmer, and I'm like, if I were you, I'd buy some meal calls. Meal seems affordable for a guy who always needs meal, right? But anyway, those products fling around. To give people an example, soybean meal's up right now and oil's down, and those spreads move violently. Let's check out milk real quick.
Okay. Yep.
It's let's look at this hourly, but let's look at a
Okay.
daily of milk here. We'll look at the most active.
Wow.
Whew, that is GameStop-ish. So we went from these 15 levels up to 21 half.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
probably traded the most milk futures I've ever traded in my career yesterday. Milk was busy, and I just trading milk, making a market. I guess a lot of people who use milk, they've switched to more insurance based. What's that called on your side of the LRP?
DRP. Yes, it's very similar to LRP, DRP. Actually, ATI and myself, I'm licensed to be able to offer that. So if you're interested in DRP, we can serve you and help you with that type of policy to protect these great prices that we've got in this great move.
Yeah.
So,
Little call to action. If there's anyone watching the show involved in milk, dairy in any way, shoot us a comment, a text, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. I live not far from Fair Oaks. Many people now know Fair Oaks from their protein shakes that you get at the gas station, their chocolate protein shakes and everything else. But it's not like I'm involved in any of the conversations or talks over there. It's just like, yeah, 30 minutes down the road, there's 40, 50,000 dairy cows. It's not just owned by one family; it's owned by a bunch of families. But ultimately, Fair Oaks then is very much owned by Coca-Cola. So you think oh, that's neat. You have a little dairy down the road. Sure, Coca-Cola has a very big dairy down the road. What else do we have? Anything? You want to talk cattle real quick? They're doing well.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What's your favorite month in the lives?
In the lives, let's look at June a little bit. I think we'll be in
We are at
June.
June daily chart right here. When you see this, what do you see?
I see us trying to find out where we want to go with this market. We've been everywhere here from the September to December sell off, the December to March rally, then a March to April meltdown. We've got a little bump here, retraced half of that March to April meltdown, but we're just trying to find its identity and where to go. The key thing here is the difference between the futures price, 170, what are we, 176, 177 area
Mhm.
versus cash. We've got a $10 basis on the cash, positive basis, which is great if you're a hedger. It's a great that makes your hedge even more effective when you have the basis firm up on you. But you got to be hedged in order to benefit significantly from that. But we'll see these come together a long way from coming together. But this market's trying to find its identity. We're in demand season on the cattle side of things. We got to see demand. Choice cutout had a good day yesterday, testing 300. But it's just it just bounces up and then comes down and bounces up and comes down. So we're moving product. It gets a little more expensive. Maybe we back off the product moving. And then just ebb and flow here. So not, I'd say a chop fest would be what I'd say cattle's doing right
Let's look
now.
at feeders real quick too, see if we have any big price action over there.
Yeah. Are we on August? Okay. Yeah. These deferred months, they're the record feeder cattle index is 254.10. And that's something I think a cow calf guy has to keep in mind. So the August chart here at 253 area, you're right at that record feeder cattle index. So if you missed selling the high last fall, you have an opportunity to go protect that same price here for this coming fall. Everybody wants to be bullish. The supply story is not going away, but the fundamental side of things and then the questions in the macro economy, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle in this cattle market. So much risk out there at these levels. We talk about it all the time. Are you worried about the 10, 20, $50 above you? Or are you worried about the $50, $100 below this market?
Good point. Let's bring in the questions one by one, Mr. Rick. Thank you.
Okay. Here we go. We got a lot over there. Throw them out there. We still got time for more. If you, Luke, big time boys out making dust in Michigan. Trio of guys doing tillage, followed by a 24-row Kinsey. That's a difference there. Looks like we've got we've broken some moving average. Does this accelerate seasonal tendencies? What do you think, Tommy? Breaking those moving averages on a chart,
I
100
think
days,
a
200
fool and
days.
his money were lucky to get together in May, and I've lost a lot of money personally being bulled up on like what's happening right now. Not this scenario, but scenarios of years past. Like listening to social media, I was one of those. And you get enough stupos like me to get bullish for the wrong reason when the stupos have to get out calling me stupid, right? We
Yeah,
accelerate the move. So a farmer who's long old crop should be selling and protecting. A farmer who's growing new crop should be selling and protecting. Did some aggressive hedges in Dece 2025 yesterday for folks. Not everyone. If someone said, "Oh, all your clients are hedged on 2025," no, 5 clients are, but they did it a lot, like 100,000, 200, 200, 200. These are people who grow a million plus bushels who said, throw a floor under it. Let's buy a put, sell, call, futures and options have risk. But so does doing nothing, right, Brady? So
yeah.
does doing nothing. Um, these are, and the idea came from the client. I wasn't selling this idea till a client said, let's get going on Dece 2025. You sold some 499 yesterday in Dece 25. Read this one up from Advanced Trading.
ATI White House announces new anti-China tariffs. EVs from 25% to 100%. EV batteries from 7.5% to 25%. Solar cells from 25% to 50%. Steel and aluminum from 0 to 7 point. I think we went to 25% on that steel and aluminum. So new tariffs at China. The tariff game is back and increasing the heat there. What does this mean to the farmer? What's
Well,
what do
it's
you think,
interesting to
Tommy?
see the Biden administration would do this. This is normally a blame Trump, but I guess it depends what side of the coin you're on. And when I think of China and tariffs, I think that there's great risk to the downside of the soybean market. Very, very much. Soybeans could go down a lot when you think of China tariffs. So the election will have it will affect people. It will affect a lot of people. Elections have results, and that's what I think about that. Any more questions or comments?
Meme stocks are back, and Jay Powell getting ready to talk. Meanwhile, grain markets are pushing higher. Yep, Brett. Great. Yeah. Where's Brady's pin pad? What is this? Who's moderating these comments?
Oh my God, Lord help us. There's a child in the room. Brady must have gotten Starlink hooked up. He did. Oh, you got to start wearing your cowboy hat. That's what he means. The old cowboy hat. You're a cowboy. You got to wear your cowboy hat. I have some ATI ProMedia hats for farmer. $10 wheat good yield wheat year for us personally would be handy. Yep. I think these are extremely hedgeable, protectable levels, and I have a feeling when we lose our bid, which we may be starting to a little bit today, it won't come back. So the fools, the people like me who used to get bullish for the wrong reason in the wrong time, if this was hot, dry, I would have my horns up, but you're not going to get me on May 14th on wet when so much work was done last fall. And our clients are extremely ready to plant. They just need windows of opportunity. And it's troublesome for folks. I get it. We're not unaware of the situation, but we're not running out of grain. We're not running out of corn, wheat, and beans. The deal with the wheat is that all these countries that were buying cheap wheat from Russia, they might have to come to the United States or other people. So cheap wheat game is over. We're getting more moderately priced. Great for the world farmer. It's definitely it's a touch of inflation here, Brady. Inflation is not going away. So when you see commodity prices and stuff go up, when we talk about tomorrow, again, that we have CPI, you may see. Of course, it's minus food, energy, and everything else, but you get my point. All right, with that, any more questions, comments from the Peanut Gallery? We'll do ATI.
I can't wait to have Ryan on here later here, but I'll read this comment here. Can't have the little guy making the big traders lose more money on GME stocks. Yep, these meme stocks are wild, Luke.
Going to be fun. Going to be fun. And
I love this comment from Farmer. Is sitting in the planter a good time to sell new car? You hit on it here just a second ago. Great time to
sell it. You can protect it too. I mean, you have choices. You have choices. Throw an ATI sticker on the old cowboy hat, Brady. Good stuff. Well, let's get out of here. I got my phone's blowing up. I got stuff to do. Folks, if you're interested in premium, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. We're going to be streaming every day live at 9. We have some exciting announcements we were going to make here in the next week or two, but Rick's taking 2 weeks off, so we're going to wait for him to come back before we go launch our new venture with ATI ProMedia. But we have a great partner that we're partnering up with, and we're real excited to tell you more about that. But you'll see it, you'll hear it, and hopefully you support it. Tell a friend. This show is live every day at 9. We're real close to 11,000 subscribers here on the ATI YouTube. Forward this show to friends. Click like and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow, my friend.
See you, Tommy.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.